much for joining me today. I'm Jayney Goddard, President and founder of the Complementary Medical Association. And for today's CMA Showcase video, I'm joined by none other than the most wonderful lady, Vanessa Hughes. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's wonderful. I'm so glad that you've joined, because the thing is that, you know, we've known you here at the CMA for quite some time now, and you know, we love what you do. So it's so wonderful that you're actually here. So I think the first thing to do is for our viewers and listeners, would you be able to just introduce yourself by telling us a little bit about the work that you do?
Well, I'm Vanessa, and I've been very interested in holistic therapies for a very long time. But only recently I decided to make the step from corporate world earning to taking control of what I wanted to do, and actually doing the things I love passionately, which is the holistic side of things. So a couple of years ago, I decided to take this big step and start running my own practice. But I started off doing Reiki. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I went on to crystal master teacher. I've done all sorts of other things like Reiki, etc. And then about 3 or 4 years ago, I actually came to the CMA via Ali Campbell, and I did his life coaching, transformational life coaching course, and also the NLP and the hypnotherapy. So I love learning, and you know, every day is a learning day, and I just feel you can just always learn more. Anyway, yesterday I found out that I'd actually passed my NLP Master Practitioner assignment as well, so I'm really chuffed about that. And it's strange how everything really melds together. So you know, the Reiki I can use to sort of like help people relax. If they're anxious, then we can do some NLP or some hypnotherapy to sort of help cement that, you know, calmness in them, etc. So yeah, it's lovely, and it's fantastic to be able to help so many people. And then I've had some really lovely wins recently. So a couple of weeks ago, I found out that I'd won the best holistic mindset and wellbeing practitioner in Ceredigion with the SME UK News. So yeah, so I was well chuffed on that. So yes, it's been quite a quick, you know, progression, and now I'm doing this, which is fabulous. So yeah.
Oh, that's absolutely
whirlwind.
Oh, honestly, well, absolutely hats off to you. That really is spectacular. And actually, please do send in a little bit of info about that so that we can highlight you in the CMA newsletter as well, because we love to celebrate our members' wins. That truly is fantastic.
We have to all wins we have to celebrate.
Yes,
isn't it?
100%. I couldn't agree more. So tell me, so it's fantastic work that you're doing, and I know Ali's courses, so I know you've had a fantastic training.
I was going to say, you know Ali well, yes.
Very, very well, yeah. And he is he's a phenomenal teacher. So you know, it's an incredible pedigree that you've come from.
Thank you.
And obviously, you bring a lot as well, because you've come from a corporate background, so it brings another dimension in, doesn't it, which is very, very special. So do you work with a particular group of people or a particular demographic, or what you know, how do you
No, I don't. A lot of people say, what's your niche? You've got to have a niche. And I thought, I don't really want a niche, because I like working with lots of different people. So I'll work with women, men, children, adult, you know, anybody that needs a bit of help, because I feel that, you know, it's difficult enough to take that step forward. It's always a bit frightening, isn't it? You know, you sit there and you're like, oh, do I want to make this step forward, and you know, can I contact them, and do they look, oh, you know, is it going to be scary? So that's bad enough without sort of going, I work with women or I work with men. Yeah, so yeah, no, I throw my net wide. So hopefully to be able to help everybody.
That is fantastic. And yes, I mean, it's really interesting. You should raise the idea of niching, because I think when people are struggling to build a practice, and they may not have come from the sort of background that you've come from, it can be really tricky. It can take a while to sort of get the word out about what you do. And I think in that situation, I think niching does help you shape your marketing messages, doesn't it? But what about you? How do people find you? Do you have a website, or how do you?
I do. I'm quite easy to find, really. So my website is vanessahughes.uk. There's no co in there. It's just vanessahughes.uk. And then there's links to Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, if you want to do on that sort of side of things. But yes, if they would like to find me, and obviously I can do everything over the internet as well. So I've had clients, I'm based in Aberystwyth in West Wales, but actually, I can deal with people. I had a lady in Canada last week, and lady in London later on this afternoon. So the world's my oyster. So don't think that you have to come here. We can do it all online.
Yes, that is wonderful, and I think it's such a sensitive and wonderful way of working, because it makes it so much more accessible to people. I mean, not just geographically, but also, I often think time-wise. I think back to when I first started in complementary medicine, my favourite practitioner, he was one of our teachers at college, but he was also my practitioner, and I used to travel from all the way from Berkshire all the way up to southeast London, round,
oh my goodness,
around the South Circular. It was not pleasant, especially in the summer, the hot summer weather, when we had no aircon in rubbish cars. Yeah, exactly.
But I think the other thing is that sort of like people who are anxious.
Yes.
A lot of people come to me with anxiety, and so the thought of having to get in a car, find a parking space.
Yes.
So actually, they can do it from the comfort of their own home. So
exactly. I really truly think, and also for people who aren't well, when you've got people who are struggling, perhaps with mobility and simply getting out. So I think that's really compassionate, a beautiful way of working. So yes, it's lovely. And do you have space at the moment to take more people on? Because I know this is another thing that people they think, she's obviously a fantastic practitioner. She'll be far too busy to see me. So do you have capacity if somebody wants to reach out to you at the moment?
I do have capacity. One of the good things about sort of like the, as I've just said, I work with Ali Campbell, and he works with a reset solution. So often it doesn't take as long as conventional sort of hypnotherapy and therapy. So I don't look there and go, right, I'm going to have you for like 4 months every week.
Yes.
I'd like to have you a few times maybe, and then that's it. If you're not coming to see me, then I'm happy, because it means you're okay and feeling great again. So so I do have a good turnover of people, and it's also the summer holidays, which is traditionally quite a quiet time for therapists, etc. So yes, strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
See me now.
Yes. No, I'm so glad you said that, because one of the differences, I think the main differences with the kind of work that we do in counselling, hypnotherapy, psychotherapy nowadays, is that it is very different from the old model, which was where you would be, in therapy for 20 years, once a week. I mean, can you even imagine?
No.
There's only so many times you can tell somebody about your childhood,
So, that old chestnut, come on.
Exactly. But all joking aside, no, I love it. I love the idea of brief, get in there, sort it out, get out, and set the person up with wins, so that that they can see change happening. And it's so empowering, isn't it? And I think that's the magic of what you do.
Yeah, because even if you've had something like you say for 20 years and you go, oh, it's deep rooted, it's deep seated, it's going to take forever to get rid of, it doesn't need to take forever. It can go like that. It's a change of thoughts often.
Yes.
And so yes, it can happen really, really quickly.
Let me, yeah, exactly. Now let me play devil's advocate, because I know this question comes up an awful lot when people are looking at counselling, hypnotherapy, and things of that sort of ilk, NLP and whatnot. I know that a lot of people hesitate to see, for example, hypnotherapist, because they think, oh no, you're going to take control of me, or you're going to make me think things that aren't really me, or you're going to make me remember things that didn't necessarily happen. How do you, if somebody ever says that to you, how do you explain how hypnotherapy, for example, actually works?
So hypnotherapy, you're not going to be there, there's no swinging watches. I will never make you quack like a duck or anything like that. So no, it's like a guided relaxation. So if you've ever done like a guided relaxation, you know that you're sort of just really chill. You can hear everything. But if someone said to you, give me your password for your bank, you'd be like, no chance, pal. You can't do anything that you don't want to. I cannot make you do anything you don't want to. It is literally just a nice guided, chill relaxation. But we all go into hypnosis, and we've all done it. And people go, oh, I haven't never done that before. But you have. Every time that you've sort of like, fallen asleep and jump like that, you've gone into trance. If you've lost track of time, then officially you've gone into a sort of a hypnosis state. And this is the classic one, is you get in the car, you drive somewhere, and you get there and you think, how did I get here? That you're in a semi-trance. So there's obviously different levels. But yeah, it's just like a nice guided, relaxed state. You can talk, you know what's going on about you. If you don't know what's going on about you, you've fallen asleep and we'd have to wake you up and start again. So
yes.
So,
yes.
Does that answer your question?
It really truly does. I mean, for example, when I've seen my hypnotherapist, I get to the stage where I'm so relaxed, and then we come back out into a more sort of everyday sense of normality and reality, and it's like coming back from a wonderful holiday. I think this is some of the magic that people don't realize about hypnotherapy. And also I think there's a lot of misinformation, because people will look at stage hypnotherapists and not realize, very, very different, not realize that those people who get up on who are brave enough to get up on the stage have been very, very, very heavily pre-selected by the therapist.
And then even more on stage. Yes.
That's right.
Exactly. You stay, you go and sit down, and it's only the one person, isn't it, at the end that's like so suggestible.
Exactly. And they're not necessarily a stooge, but they are somebody who is not, who doesn't necessarily have inhibitions. They actually really want to be doing it. So, so that's really important. And, with my hypnotherapy work as well, this is something that it's a question I find comes up an awful lot. So I'm really glad that you're able to explain it so elegantly then. And I really hope that sets a lot of people's literally minds at rest. But yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing that you offer, and so powerful. And I think also that a lot of people don't realize that hypnotherapy was actually included within the NHS back in 1948, or just after, when they were bringing everything into the NHS, because it has always been respected by conventional medicine as a legitimate form of work with people. So, that's another thing that really underpins the seriousness. So, when you were saying about the watch swinging and all the cartoon tropes and all the rest of it, nothing could be further from the truth. So I think it's such, it just absolutely hats off to you, because you're doing such important and such valuable work, and you're helping so many people. And I hope this short video helps people to find you as well, because
that would be lovely.
Yes. Well, this is what it's all about. This is what
I like to keep it real. Always got a bit of sense of humour going on. You've got to have that, haven't you?
Exactly. You really do. Yeah, absolutely. It's important not to take ourselves too seriously, but also I think to underpin the fact that we can genuinely help people with this discipline.
Undoubtedly.
It truly is remarkable. Obviously there's the work that you do and the information you've got on your website. The BBC did a fantastic program about Ali Campbell, your teacher, which was brilliant.
This fixed my life as well.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
And the cases that they threw at him were people who really were struggling with physical problems, and it was remarkable. So if nothing else, I would strongly suggest people do watch that video, that program. I think it's still.
Is it on iPad? I think it's still on iPlayer. I think it's still
yes. I think it's still on iPlayer, and I think it will give people a flavour of the kind of thing that you do as well. So really, really valuable. But I think here at the CMA, we are very, very privileged and very lucky to have you with us. You are an amazing practitioner. Just the reviews and so on that you have really are a testament to that. So please, keep up the good work. And I would say to anybody listening or watching, don't walk, run to Vanessa's door, because she's a spectacular practitioner.
There's lots of reviews on my website and also on Google and everything as well.
Exactly. So we've seen those, and of course also you've got your listing on the CMA website as well, which also tells people a lot about the work you do. So Vanessa, I just want to thank you for spending this time with us. It's honestly an absolute pleasure to have you, and we can't wait to learn more from you as time goes on.
Yes, and hopefully we can meet you in the flesh at some point as well. So
Definitely,
lovely to chat with you, Jayney.
Absolutely.
Really, really lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanessa. All the best. Thank you. Bye-bye.